What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Bit of Footy YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be running through my round one tips for the 2024 season, and just like last season, we're uploading tips videos on the day of a game. So it's like nothing has changed. Whoop-de-doo, fucking hell. Why do I always do this? I really need to upload tips videos earlier in the week so I can, do other videos later in the week and all that, etc, etc. But yeah, we're going through my round one tips, so let's not waste any more time and let's get through them. All right, so kicking off, literally today we've got Carlton taking on Richmond at the MCG. The proper opening game, I reckon. I love when these two face off in the opening game. I reckon it's going to be a very interesting game. I reckon the Tigers will want to, play better than they did last round against the Suns in round 0. The Blues, obviously, they got that win over the Lions, so they're coming into this game with a lot of confidence. I do think it's going to be a very interesting game, though, because I've heard that Lynch is going to be back for the Tigers. So, the Tigers could potentially win this game. But I am going to go the Blues. I really feel like they'll have a lot of confidence and momentum from last round's win over the Lions. So yeah, I'm going to back in the Blues over the Tigers in this game, but it could go either way, really. Next up, we've got the Friday night game between my Pies and the Swans. My Pies are coming off a loss against the Giants last round in round 0, while the Swans are coming off a win against the D's in round 0. So another very interesting matchup. Two teams that have already played a game this season as well, so they've already gotten a feel for it. So no team's got that real advantage of having, already played a game this season. But yeah, I'm going to go my Pies to get the job done. I've got faith that we will come back from last week's loss and get the job done this week. We will have obviously taken a lot of learnings from last week's loss against the Giants, and hopefully we can take those learnings, improve our game, and get the win against the Swans this round. But obviously, the Swans, they've got a chance. They won last round against the D's. They played some very impressive footy. Their midfield was elite in that game, and their forward line as well. So it's going to be a tough ask, obviously, for my Pies against the Swans, who are coming into this game off the back of a win. But I do have faith that my Pies will get the job done in this one. Moving on to the 4 Saturday games. Saturday Arvo Footy is back, and I cannot wait to be watching it. First off, we are kicking off with the Bombers taking on the Hawks at the MCG. Another tough game to tip. It will be very interesting to see who comes out victors in this game, just because I don't really know where these teams are going to be at this year. But for this game, I have tipped the Bombers to win. I just feel like they're going to, be a little bit better than the Hawks on the day, but I can see it being a very close matchup. Obviously, the Hawks will want to start off well, considering how, they sort of went last season. I mean, they sort of finished the season okay. So hopefully, they'll want to, start this season in good fashion. But I do think the Bombers will just play a little bit better on the day than the Hawks. So I'm backing in the Bombers to beat the Hawks in this one. Then we move on to the Giants taking on North Melbourne in Greater Western Sydney, or in Western Sydney. I'm going to be backing the Giants to win this one. I do feel like, obviously, North want to prove themselves from last year, and they did all right at the Pracky games this year as well. So hopefully they'll head into this game with a little bit of confidence behind their back. Obviously, they've got Clarko, at the helm as well to help them grow. But I feel like the Giants, they played very well against my Pies. They played very well in their Pracky matches as well. And it's at home for them as well, so I'm going to be backing in the Giants over the Roos in this one. Then the first Saturday night game, we've got the Cats taking on the Saints at GMHBA Stadium, and I've actually went the underdog here. It is round 1, so who's the underdog, whatever. But I went the Saints to beat the Cats at GMHBA Stadium. I reckon if the Saints, if they want to prove themselves this year, and if they want to make finals, they gotta take big scalps. And I reckon this would be a big scalp, beating Geelong at home. They played pretty well in their Pracky matches, St Kilda as well. They looked very exciting. And I just feel like they're just gonna have a good burst in this game, have a few good moments in this game, and just be a little bit more speedier and be a little bit more fluent than the Cats will in this game. So yeah, I'm backing in the Saints to beat the Cats at the Cattery. I know that may be a very stupid tip, but I'm backing it in. Let's see if it gets up. And the last Saturday game, we've got the Suns taking on the Crows. The Suns, holy dooly, weren't they on fire last week in front of the Sticks, or last round in front of the Sticks against the Tigers? They're coming up against the Crows, who haven't played an official game this season. Obviously, they played pracky matches. But I'm liking the Suns for this one. I do think the Crows will be a different challenge than the Tigers were last round for the Suns. But I do think the Suns at home, if they play like they did last round against Richmond, I reckon they're going to get the win here. So I'm backing them in to beat the Crows in this one. Then we've got the Trey Sunday games. We've got the first one here. We've got the D's taking on the Dogs at the MCG. I will be going to this game as well as the Pies and Swans game, of course. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this game turns out. I was originally going to tip the D's, but I'm actually backing in the Dogs for this one, which may be another surprise for you lot. But yeah, I just feel like the Dogs will be excited for this game. We'll get up and about for this game. Jesus, far out voice crack. For this game against the D's at the MCG. And yeah, I reckon they'll get the job done. I just reckon they'll sort of spark in this game. They'll show a real good spark in this game. They'll really step it up in this game against the D's in their first official game, the Dogs, and be able to beat the D's in this one. I do feel like the D's are going to keep it close, though. They're playing back at the MCG. They're coming off a loss against the Swans, so I do think the D's will keep it close in this game. But yeah, I just can see the Dogs getting over the line. I really feel like they're going to not really run over the D's. I reckon it'll be a close one, but I feel like they'll just somehow get over the line against the D's in this game. So yeah, I've got the Dogs to beat the D's in that one. Next up, we have got the Power taking on the Eagles for the second Sunday game. It's at the Adelaide Oval, backing in the Power for this one. Obviously, the Eagles are still a young, developing side coming into this year, and the Power, they made it into the finals last year. They were second on the ladder. So yeah, I do feel like the Power, will start off this season with a win to their name. So yeah, I'm backing in them to beat the Eagles in this one. And the last game is the Dockers taking on the Lions. Always a pretty good watch, this one, especially when it is at Optus Stadium, and this game is. But yeah, I'm backing in the Lions in this game. I really feel like they'll feel like the game against the Blues that they had last round slipped away, and they'll be a little bit disappointed, and will want to come back in this game and make sure they leave Optus Stadium with the 4 points. I do feel like the Dockers will keep it relatively close, though. It is at Optus Stadium, and when the Dockers play the Lions at Optus, the Dockers seem to come up trumps a few times. So I do feel like it'll be an interesting game, but I feel like the Lions will, want to get a win in this round to, sort of get back on track and get on the winners list for 2024. So I'm backing in the Lions to beat the Dockers in that one. And those are all my tips right here below me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your tips in the comments below, and join my tipping comp as well if you want to. It's in the link in the description as well. So yeah, cheers guys for watching this video. Catch ya.